Welcome back to Gamer Sanctuary. We're going to be doing something a little special today. Mike and I are taking a break from all our Food Hammer prep to get in some 40k. We've been talking about doing this for a while, ever since the Iyanden Codex dropped. We are going to be playing the special mission out of that book called Uriel's Return, because, of course, I play Iyanden and he plays Hive Fleet Kraken, so it gives us a perfect opportunity to recreate one of the classic famous battles from 40k lore. There's some awesome special rules for the scenario. We'll go over them as we go over the armies and deployment, and I'm really excited about this one. Oh, we also have a bunch of things we're going to tease you from Food Hammer. We're going to talk about some of the awesome prize donations we've gotten, and hopefully entice some of you guys to show up next Saturday, December 7th. All right, here's a shot of my Eldar army. We're going to be playing at 2250 points, so it's a little bit bigger. We are going to use double four sword. We both have a lot of heavy choices we want to bring, so let's get right into it. Of course, being an Iyanden list, I have a super fluffy, loaded with Wraith unit army to show. As part of the scenario, I have the Spirit Seer from Iyanden. Let's see, her name is Iyanden. She's the right here. She's going to be in charge of the defense force. I have to have half of my army on the table and then half in reserve that comes in turn 3, and that other half must be led by Prince Uriel. So we'll go over the defenders first. I have 10 Wraith Guard, just with Wraith cannons. She also has the Wraith Forged Stone. The scenario, before I move on, the scenario also upgrades her to a level 3 Spirit Seer, which is really handy. So she'll get an extra power and warp charge. I have 2 War Walkers with scatter lasers. I have 3 of the Shadow Weaver batteries. I left my Guardians at home again, so the Fire Dragons are proxying as the Guardian weapon crew. And I have 2 Wraith Lords with scatter lasers and missile launchers and a pair of flamers in each. That is my defense force, and they're going to be hiding behind one of the new defensive barricades from Brush for Hire Studios. I got these in my Kickstarter, along with the bunker in the back. They are one of our many Food Hammer sponsors. Austin donated an entire 6x4 foot table worth of terrain, so you'll be able to take a lot of that home if you show up. It's going to all be raffle prizes. Moving back to the army, Uriel and his rescue reserves consist of 5 Wraith Blades in Wave Serpent with Scatter Lasers, Shuriken Cannon. 5 more Wraith Guard with these scythes, also in Wave Serpent with Scatter Lasers and Shuriken Cannon. 5 Harlequins. The Shadow Seer actually is another special character. I can't remember her name at the moment. Where is she? There she is. She is becomes a level 2 Psyker and gets Doom and Guide as part of her repertoire, along with Veil of Tears. So she becomes very effective. She's going to be in reserve, along with 10 Striking Scorpions, Exarch with Monster Hunter and the Scorpion's Claw. As part of the mission, all my reserves come in on turn 3 automatically. I don't roll for it, and they cannot come in earlier than that. The Eldar have the first turn unless Tyranids can seize. The turn in which all my reserves arrive, they may run and charge in the same turn. So I can have my Scorpions outflank, they can get on the board, they can fleet, or they can make a run move with battle focus and then still assault. So it's going to be very good. It's going to be a very good way for me to get some units mixed into combat, because by then I should have Tyranids all over my deployment zone. I don't have a whole lot defending it. I got a lot of shots and some blast markers, but not much else. So I'm going to be outflanking the Scorpions, and they are going to be. Actually, you know what? I think the War Walkers are outflanking too, if I'm not correct. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, actually, the War Walkers should be over here. They're going to be outflanking also. So the War Walkers and the Scorpions can outflank. The Harlequins and the Wraith Blades can all charge on from my edge of the table to try to roll the Tyranids back. Let's see. Any other special rules worth noting for here? I'll talk about the special thing that Uriel can do when we look at Mike's Tyranid army. One other thing I do want to show off, these are the custom cut Food Hammer 2013 templates we got from Green Man Designs. He is another one of our Food Hammer sponsors, along with Chessex Dice. You're going to see all of the custom dice that Mike and I both use for these armies from Chessex, and they were kind enough to donate it. So what we've got set up is every single person who's going to show up to Food Hammer is going to walk away with one of these templates and a pair of dice no cost. That is your gift from us, along with a bunch of other little goodies from other companies too. So it should be awesome. If you got next Saturday free, December 7th, come out to Gamer Sanctuary and join us. So we're going to take a look at Mike's Tyranids in just a second. And here we have Hive Fleet Muggus, aka Kraken. Really quickly, some of the special rules that Tyranids get. First of all, they can't have anything, any defense lines. They can't have any fortifications, so that's all right with Mike, because he's just going to go all balls out and attack me anyway. But the big thing is the Great Devourer himself, this Hive Tyrant. Mike has given him wings, a bonded exoskeleton, so he's going to be hard to bring down under normal circumstances. But even in this scenario, it's going to be even worse, because the scenario grants him Toughness 10 and a 2-up invulnerable save as well, against every weapon in my army except for Uriel's Spear of Twilight. So if I want to easily try to kill him, I have to get Uriel into combat with him, which is not going to be that easy, especially when he flies. Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to having to take him down, especially with that 2-up invul and Toughness 10. It's just going to be hard to bring him down. Fortunately for me, though, that is the only Hive Tyrant he is allowed to bring. But that didn't stop Mike from bringing a bunch of other stuff. So we've got the 3 Termagants in the back. The dark one is an HQ choice, and the other 2 are troop choices. We have 2 squads of Termagants, a Geenstealer Brood with Broodlord, 2 squads of 2 Hive Guard, and then a mess of Carnifexes. We've got a brood of 3, all with Twinling Devourers, double Twinling Devourers. So it's a lot of shots coming my way, and a Stone Crusher Carnifex as well. One right back there. So this is 2250 points worth of Tyranids, and it's going to be ugly. Here we have a shot of the table after deployment. I have my Shadow Weavers hiding in the building over here, getting ready to drop some templates on some Tyranid Grubblies. My Wraith Guard are in a line behind my defense line, with my Spirit Seer manning the quad cannon. I don't have a quad cannon for Eldar, and didn't bring my Marine one, so I'm going to use that Sphere just to stand in for today. Sorry about the proxy. 2 Wraith Lords flanking my Wraith Guard, and 2 Warwalkers up here in the ruins, just looking down on the massive Tyranid horde that's about to come my way. Mike rolls a ton of psychic powers for all of his guys. I think all 3 of his Termagants have endurance, so that's going to be fun. Hive Tyrants over here, starting the game on the ground, but toughness 10 and 2+ armor save. It's not looking good for me to be able to deliver some wounds on it before it takes off. And back over here, the Geenstealers are outflanking. I'm sorry, they're infiltrating. He also has. You said he's got endurance? Yeah, he's got endurance as well, and the other power he rolls with a Focus Witchfire, which he can't use because he's BS 0. So, big waste of a psychic power there, but that's it. I have the first turn unless Mike wants to try to seize. And we'll tune back in after turn 1.
6.
What? He did. He seized. All right, well, Mike's going to go first. I think it's the first time you've ever done that to me.
Yeah, with Tyranid.
All right, well, go ahead and advance. Get closer to my guns, please.
Yeah.
Top of Mike's turn 1 could have been worse for me, but not by much. The Hive Guard opened up on my Warwalkers and blew them both apart. So I've given up first blood with the Warwalkers, and Mike has taken out a significant portion of my firepower. The Hive Tyrant jumped up on top of the rock and shot at the Wraith Guard, only killing 1, and everything else ran up. So we've got Iron Flesh on the Hive Tyrant.
Iron Flesh?
Iron Flesh, is that what it is? Iron Arm. I'm sorry, Iron Arm. Yeah, it is. Iron Arm on the...
Endurance.
And Endurance on the Hive Tyrant? Great.
Yeah, so he has Feel No Pain, It Will Not Die.
He's Toughness 10 with a 2+ invulnerable save. Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Eternal Warrior.
And Eternal Warrior. And we've got Endurance on the Broodlord and the Carnifexes, right? They have Endurance as well.
And the Stone Crusher.
Yeah, the Stone Crusher as well. So lots of stuff is making it very hard for me. So I have to decide if I want to come out of my hole and attack or try to weather another round of shooting. I'm going to move into top of turn 1. It's no wonder that Iyanden and Craftworld needed Prince Uriel to come save the day, because my defenders just decided to suck horribly this round. Not having the scatter lasers, man, I really had a hard time whittling down any troops. So I had my Wraith Lord shoot over here to try to kill some Geenstealers. missed badly with the missile launchers. Actually, I failed to wound with the missile launcher, and got a couple with the scatter laser, but Mike passed his saves. This Wraith Lord shot at the Hive Guard here and did nothing. Missed with his missile launcher, whiffed completely off, and then failed to wound. The Shadow Weavers, you think with the 3 large blast templates, I would have been able to kill more than 3 Termagants and put a wound on a Hive Guard, but nope, that's all they did. I needed the quad gun from my Spirit Seer to finish off one of the Hive Guard. So in total, oh yeah, the best epic failness was my Wraith Guard going to try to move through the wall. They rolled double ones on their difficult terrain roll. Seeing as how I had them put back away from the wall a little bit, they didn't have enough movement to get over the wall. And then I rolled a 1 for their Voice of Twilight run move, so they did not have enough movement to get over the wall to even come out and shoot these Carnifexes. So I'm in trouble, serious trouble. Mike's going to have 2 more turns before I get my reserves, and he might very well table me before I have anything else come out. One positive note, I do have Protect up on my Wraith Guard, so they do have 2 up saves. But that's not saying much. We're going to move now into top of turn 2. Top of turn 2 could have been an awful lot worse for me. These Termagants all ran up. That one dumped 10 more onto the table and is out. So she can't make no more babies. This one, of course, spawned 15, so it's still going.
6 of 5.
Yeah, 6 of 5 and a 4. Best result you can get with a Tervagon. This one didn't try to spawn any. Geenstealers all ran up, and Mike had second-guessed himself about trying to assault into my Wraith Lord after my Wraith Guard, who were standing there, got whittled down to the last 3 hiding behind the cannon, thanks to all the Devourer shots from the Carnifexes and the Hive Tyrant. So we're going to move now into bottom of 2 and see if I can't at least try to do some damage to Mike to make this a game. I need to hold out 1 more turn of Mike's, and then my reserves can come in. Bottom of turn 2 actually went better for Mike than it did for me. My Wraith Lord moved up with the intention of flaming a whole bunch of his Geenstealers and failed to kill a single one of them, even though I hit 8 times. My Wraith Guard started off the turn really nicely. They ran out, and I was planning on trying to get some protection from all the shooting in close combat. I know it was saying a lot, but it was worth the shot because I'm trying to stall until all my reserves show up next turn. I did insta-kill one of the Carnifexes with the only D-cannon who hit. I Spirit Marked them, rolled 2 2s, and a 1 for their shots. So I re-rolled the 1 and got a hit, and then rolled a 6 to wound, killed one of the Carnifexes. That Wraith Lord finished off the Hive Guard here, as well as as did the Shadow Weavers. They killed a whole bunch of the Termagants here, dropped a couple wounds on the Tervagon as well. So that was actually pretty good. But then combat, just bad things happened. My Wraith Lord got into the combat with the Geenstealers, and they ripped him to shreds before I got to act, so that was probably not a smart move on my part. Forgetting they had poison weapons didn't help. And then over here, the Carnifexes overwatched all 3 of my Wraith Guard. I actually perilled on my Protect roll to give them armor 2, which was very bad because I rolled 3 2s on their saves and they all died. The Spirit Seer did manage to get in combat, rolled an 11 for her charge range, got in, hit 4 times and wounded 4 times on the Carnifex, made all his saves, and then insta-killed her in return. She did only have a single wound, so not too bad. But down to the Wraith Lord over here and the Shadow Weavers, and that's it. If Mike can table me, my reserves can't come in, so we're going to try to see if I can last 1 more turn, and then the other half of my army gets to show up. Top of turn 3, and I'm still kicking. Mike managed to get in here and assault my Guardians and killed 2 of them. He killed 1 with... I lost a single Guardian to the Hive Tyrant shots, thanks to the Toughness 7 from my weapon platforms, but I have 3 Guardians remaining. I need to keep them alive so that I can keep the spinners going. The Wraith Lord in here lost 2 wounds to the Carnifex's shooting, and then lost his 3rd wound to the Tervagon shooting, so he didn't even have to charge in to get him. So yeah, things were really looking bad until that combat phase, and I actually won the combat here, I must say. My Guardians won combat against half a dozen Termagants. And I can sigh a little bit of relief because I get All of this coming in from reserve automatically. 10 Scorpions, 2 Wave Serpents full of Wraith Guard, and Prince Uriel himself. So let's see what I can do in the bottom of turn 3. Top of turn 3, Uriel and his boys decide to play hero. The Wraith Guard over here with the D sides took out 24 of the Geenstealers. Is that what we figured out? No, I'm sorry. I took out like 16 of the Geenstealers. There's only a few of them left. The Wave Serpent over here dropped a couple wounds on the Turvagon. He's only got 1 left, 2 left, 2 left. That Wave Serpent tried to knock down the Hive Tyrant, and it made its save to stay in the sky. So he's still a threat. Uriel and his Wraithblade buddies charged into the Carnifexes, did 3 wounds to 1, actually did a combined total of 6 wounds, but he made 3 Feel No Pain saves, and I didn't lose a single Wraith Guard in return. I did lose 1 to the Overwatch Fire, so there's only 4 Wraithblades in Uriel in that combat. The Striking Scorpions came in on this flank and killed off the Termagants holding my Shadow Weavers pinned down. The Harlequins, unfortunately, couldn't get anywhere. It was just too congested. They had nowhere they could reach, so they just stuck back there and they're waiting to counterattack something. I was hoping that the Hive Tyrant would get knocked down and all their massive amount of attacks would be able to hurt it. But that's it. Top of turn 4. See if Mike is going to be able to punch me back in the face. Top of turn 4 was full of good and bad for me. The Hive Tyrant jumped over here and only killed 2 of my Harlequins, the Troop Master and 1 Harlequin with the Harlequin Kiss. I lost 5 of my Striking Scorpions to all the shooting over on this side of the table. So that's not too bad. Passed all my leadership tests. I'm good to go. Over here, the Stone Crusher Carnifex got in, failed to kill any of the Wraith Blades, but I lost 2 more just to massive attacks from Termagants and the other Carnifex. Uriel finished off 1 Carny, and the Blades did a wound to each of the other 2. So they're holding their own, but everything's fearless here, so they don't care. Back over here, though, is where the turn could have gone so well for me and instead went so badly. Mike tried to get goofy. He tried to assault the Termagants in first on my Wraith Guard with D-sides. I passed on my Overwatch attempt. He failed. Good for me. Then he tried to assault him with a Turvagon. I made my Overwatch against that. I hit him a grand total of 9 times with my D-sides and failed to roll a single 6. If I had rolled 1, it would have been a dead Turvagon. But I rolled a bunch of 4s and 5s, and that just doesn't cut it. Meanwhile, the Geenstealers jumped over the cover and ripped 4 of the Wraith Guard apart, leaving that lone Wraith Guard standing by himself. So we are going to move now into the bottom of 4 and see if I can't try to scrape away a couple extra kill points. Lots happened in the bottom of turn 4. The lone Wraith Guard with the D side over here managed to fight off all the Geenstealers right here. Failed to kill any in return. Over here, my shooting killed the last Turvagon here. It blew up, killed a couple of the Termagants in combat. Uriel directed his attacks at the Termagants, only killed 1. Wraithblades did a single wound on one of the Carnifexes. Oh no, I'm sorry, they failed the wound. And the Harlequins jumped in and did a single rending wound. But the Carnifex, the Stone Crusher, only got a single hit and failed to wound my Wraith Guard. And the other Carnifex missed completely. So they did absolutely nothing this turn. The Shadow Weavers dropped a whole bunch of the Termagants here and did a wound to the Turvagon. And the Striking Scorpions charged in and killed a bunch more of the Termagants. And that's it. So we're going to move into the top of 5. And right now I'm just trying to save some kill points. Apparently doom is nigh for the Eldar. They are on their way off the table. Hive Tyrant shot it and assaulted the Wave Serpent and blew it up. The Geenstealers here killed that last Wraith Guard finally. My Scorpions were charged by 4 more Termagants, and I killed all of them with my Manda Blasters and my Chainswords, so they're free to go. But in the middle, the giant fracas is no more. Uriel used the Eye of Wrath and killed, I think, 7 Termagants, which was not bad. Failed to hurt either the Carnifexes, which really sucked, because 1 more wound on him would have killed him and prevented Uriel from dying to Carnifex swings. So he was insta-killed by a Carnifex hit. Harlequins put one of the wounds on the Carnifex and then made their hit and run roll, so they are about ready to jump back into combat. And that's it. So we're going to go into the bottom of 5 and see if this ends. Right now Mike has a commanding lead on victory points thanks to killing Uriel. Bottom of turn 5, my Wave Serpent finished off the Geenstealers over here, and the Harlequins finished, they charged back in and hit the Carnifex, the Stone Crusher, did a Blade Storm wound on the shooting, and then did 3 Rends in combat, so took him out. And over here the Scorpions are stuck in combat with the Hive Guard. The Shadow Weavers killed all 11 of the Termagants sitting in that squad too. So it was another kill point there. But I'm slowly losing this battle because now that Carnifex right there is free to shoot his Devourers at my poor little Harlequins in the middle of the table. Alright, moving on to turn 6. We did roll for it, so Mike is going to have one more chance to try to take me out. Alright, well here we are at the end of turn 6. The game is over and the Eldar are doomed. With Uriel dying, it was just too many victory points for me to overcome. The Hive Tyrant killed off the Shadow Weaver squad in combat. Killed one of the cannons and then charged them, killed the other guys. The Harlequins were annihilated by the Devourer armed Carnifex, and then he regenerated one of his wounds just for good measure. The Wave Serpent tried to kill him, but I made him roll 6 saves and he made all of them. So that's just the way today was going. And then the Striking Scorpions managed to kill off the last Hive Guard and then failed their morale check. And they're running away, so they count as being destroyed. Final victory point total, Tyranids 19, Eldar 12, maybe 13. We kind of lost track of the number of Termagant squads the Tervagants spawned. But it was a great game. Definitely the first roll of the game is what changed the entire fate for my army. Mike seizing the initiative was huge. Being able to kill my Warwalkers and basically steal a round of shooting away from my army was incredible. And
your dudes at the beginning rolling away.
Oh yeah, and my Wraith Guard not wanting to come out, being afraid to run behind the barrier, and there was just a whole bunch of just comical dice rolling on my part, and some phenomenal dice rolls on Mike's. And you know what? Even the other way around, his Carnifexes were just pathetic in close combat. They couldn't hit anything, rolling lots of 1s and 2s and 3s. So great game though. We were hoping this was going to be our farewell bat rep to the Tyranid Codex, but it looks like GW is pulling a fast one, and they're going to be released next year, not next week as we hoped. But speaking of next week, we have Food Hammer coming up. So again, if you guys are in the Flint, Genesee County, Michigan, Midwest area, come on out. Like I said, tons and tons and tons of freebies to give away. A whole lot of fun open gaming. If you want to just stop in, say hi, and donate some food or some money to the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, that's awesome too. So thanks again for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll see you in a week.